Lovely. Thanks, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. My name's Liz Wilson from a company called Shorebird, and we're here to talk to you about appraisals, everything you need to know. And Barbara Nixon is going to do today's presentation. But before we get going ahead and welcome Barbara with us, I just wanted to go through a few bits of housekeeping. Basically, the slides and recordings are all published in our LinkedIn webinar group. So if you've not been there into the LinkedIn webinar group, then please have a look, join in, and all the slides from our previous webinars are there. If you want me to email them to you, then please send me an email to liz.wilson in response to the automated email you'll get after the webinar, and I can certainly send them privately to you. The webinar is going to run till about 1:45 today, so Barbara's going to be talking for about 30 minutes. So we'd like to keep it quite engaged, so please use the chat box that some of you have started using there to ask her questions, raise your hand, sort of maybe you've got something you might want to add to what she's talking about. She will try to include that throughout the webinar as she's going forward, but if there is something that doesn't quite fit in with that slide at that particular moment in time, she will come back to it at the end, and that will be in our questions right at the end. So if you've got a question as well, bring that up at any time or at the end in that method. We're also putting together a guest list of everyone who's registered on the webinars before, so you can be the first people that we invite to future webinars. That probably email's going to go out in the next couple of weeks, so please look out for that, and just sort of make sure that you're on that list. Please send me an email if you'd like to be included. We are hosting weekly webinars, and we've got a full schedule running up until July. In fact, I've just put another couple in for August. I'm constantly updating the websites with forthcoming events, so you can catch those either on our LinkedIn company page or on our website, or obviously through the emails that we will send to you over the forthcoming weeks. So thanks ever so much for joining again. Okay, what I'd like to do very quickly is just tell you a little bit about what Shorebird does. We're not a HR consultancy, as I think many people probably think we are, but we do help HRs and employers reduce the reliance on recruitment agencies, and we'll support them then with the direct hiring strategies. And what we feel is that with the topics that we're delivering through the webinars and our partners, we're adding additional value to helping you to achieve that goal. We have quite a unique sort of recruitment process outsourcing model that we've put into place to enable our clients to achieve that. The aim is really to reduce your cost per hire, increase your time to hire, improve the quality of the applicants and the applicant process, and improve your employer brand. We're going to hopefully reduce your staff turnover as well with better hiring decisions, and we do this through three core concepts. Our Shorebird Attract, which is a low-cost online advertising process, so it could be things like job boards or social media or mobile in order to attract those candidates to your business. We've got Shorebird Manage, which is our applicant tracking system, so effectively your CRM tool that will enable you to communicate and track and make your recruitment much more streamlined. And through support, so that could be the extra little bit of help where you need it. Maybe you need some additional help screening CVs or telephone interviews, even managing your recruitment agencies if you've sort of got that built into your existing model. So if there is something that you'd like to hear more about there, or how we may be able to work in partnership with your business, then please get in touch with myself. I can certainly sort of show you a few online demos or something that might sort of help your recruitment process. So please get in touch, and that's liz.wilson@shorebird-rpo.com. So, without further ado, thanks for being here, everybody. I'm sure you're going to get something out of today. I'm going to pass you on to Barbara. Welcome to Barbara, and then I'll have a quick couple of minutes with you at the end just to sort of let you know some exciting things that are happening with Barbara and also with future webinars. So, thanks, everybody. Speak to you soon. Take care. Hello. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me this afternoon. I really do appreciate you taking that time out of your busy day. This webinar has proved to be incredibly popular, and it was one that I was asked to do by quite a few people who wanted to actually brush up on their appraisal skills. But before we continue, I am conscious that some of you haven't worked with me before, so I just want to take a couple of minutes to let me introduce myself. My name is Barbara Nixon, and I'm a management development trainer and coach. I write articles on management development as well. I've worked with managers for the last 16 to 17 years, so I've actually lost count of the number of managers, team leaders, senior execs that I've actually worked with. But I do love working with them and giving them the support they need to enable them to go on to do much bigger and better things.
Now, I do this in many ways. I provide online programs, webinars, classroom programs. I work with teams within organisations. I write articles and blogs, and I coach people on a one-to-one basis. I'm also a director of Synaptic Change, and we specialise in transfer of learning and embedding training, and we're going to talk to you a little bit more about that later on. So if you know of anyone who would benefit from hearing from me, please do share my details. Now, it's fantastic to see so many people here today, as it's absolutely essential to keep updating your management and people skills and topping them up. It allows us to stay ahead of the game and to keep enhancing ourselves and our business. Now, as well as being passionate about management development, I'm also a massive believer in people being able to use the skills they learn. That's why I do try and give you things that are easy to apply and simple to use. So throughout this session, I'm going to be giving you lots of different tips to go away and use. As I'll keep mentioning, I'm really passionate about action. You've given up your time and your busy day to work with me, so I want to get the most out of that and for you to go away and actually use all this stuff. So those of you that have worked with me before will know that I like my webinars to be quite interactive. I'll give you exercises to do, I'll ask you questions throughout the session, and as Liz said, if you can just utilise that chat box, that'd be great, and we'll get a bit of discussion going. Please do get involved by filling in your answers. But let's get started. Appraisals. They can be called a variety of different things like performance reviews or annual reviews, and they're widely used in lots of different organisations as they're still recognised as being a powerful way to evaluate and manage performance. If they're used correctly, they enable you guys as managers to give open and honest feedback about an individual's performance. You can motivate, you can develop people, and you can help and support people to be the best they can be. Unfortunately, even though they're viewed as something that is really beneficial for all parties, it's so easy for managers to get it wrong, as they're often seen as something else to do on an already busy to-do list. Managers can also just go through the motions of filling in the form, leaving the individual feeling like it was a complete waste of time, a paper shuffling exercise, and something that didn't benefit them in the slightest. So it is really fantastic to see so many of you here today ready to brush up your skills and give your teams a really worthwhile and productive appraisal. So before we go any further, let's get the first question out of the way. Can you just let me know, what do you actually struggle with when it comes to appraisals? What do you think is the hardest bit for you to do as the appraising manager? Or if you're new to doing appraisals, just say new, just so I know where we're all at. If you can just type that into the chat box, that'd be fantastic. Oh, loads of new. Fantastic, that's great. I'll just give you a second just to keep typing. Rachel, for me, it's getting managers to meet with staff. I'm assuming you're a HR manager, Rachel. Yeah, difficult to get line managers to buy into them. Yeah. Getting someone engaged who just wants to do their job okay and go home. Yeah. Managing an employee's expectations about their performance and linking this to prioritising. Yeah, Rachel, yeah, fantastic. Thank you for answering that question. Giving constructive feedback. Yeah, Katrina, we're going to be talking about feedback later on in the session. I don't like to hold them better and learn something new. That's fine. Links with pay. Now, we're not going to be touching links with pay today because it is it can be quite unique to different companies, but we'll see how we get on. We'll just see if anybody else is still typing. Yeah, getting supervisors to give honest feedback. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for everybody getting involved there. So we are going to touch on definitely on feedback, and I'll try and touch on a lot of those other bits and pieces there. We have some new people as well, which is great. Okay, so before we go any further, let's just answer the question about what an appraisal is, so that we're all on the same page. So again, just write your version of what an appraisal is, just in one line on the chat box, just so I know that everybody's in the same place. Thank you. I'm just taking the mouse off Liz there. Just what an appraisal is, please. A review, great. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. Feedback and discussion on an employee's performance. Yeah. A snapshot of performance over the year and a focus on the future objectives. Great. Tool to evaluate performance. Oh, you're all coming in now. Hold on. Review of performance and discussion of the future. Tools to evaluate performance. A review of performance over set time. Fantastic. Discuss performance and review. Yeah, great. What action could be taken to improve the employee performance by himself and his line manager? Opportunity to praise an employee on their performance. No surprise. Great. This is all fantastic. And you're absolutely right. An appraisal is, where am I pressing? Sorry, let me just, appraisal is just that. It is, it's just a meeting with a member of your team. That's it in a nutshell. Just you and them on a one-to-one basis. It's an opportunity for you both to openly discuss the past 12 months and the performance of the individual. It's also a great time to set objectives for the coming year, look at and plan the person's development and discuss their career aspirations. It's also a good opportunity for the individual being appraised to voice their opinions on their role and where they see themselves heading and give any feedback to the manager. It is definitely a two-way discussion. So my next question is, what is the worst appraisal you've ever had? Not the worst feedback that you've had in appraisal, just the most badly conducted appraisal. So again, I don't want to turn it into a counselling session, but if you could just give me one word or a short sentence about where it went wrong. Hidden agenda, yeah. Negative, when it didn't, that's a good one, Kevin, thank you for that, when it didn't actually happen. So I'm assuming that you might have expected it or been looking forward to it happening. It was in your diary and it didn't happen. That you never received one, again, Clive, thank you for that. That it was brief, tick box and uninterested. Manager does all the talking, definitely, Katrina, thank you for raising that. It's one of my pet hates for an appraisal. Told manager's view, not given a voice. Yes, some common themes coming out there. So it's good for us to actually remember what it's like to be on the receiving end of an appraisal, especially when we're about to be the appraising manager. Appraisals done poorly can have quite an effect on the individual. But we are going to focus on how to give the best appraisal possible. But it is, like I said, really good for you to have that in the back of your mind so you can know what not to do and what it's like being at the other side of the table, if you like. It is worth mentioning that an appraisal is not an opportunity to tell somebody off or just talk at the person for the duration of the meeting, which, like a couple of you have already said. As I mentioned, it's very much a two-way discussion, and as such, it shouldn't be rushed. And I've seen a lot of appraisals being rushed. Yeah, we've got 15 minutes to do this, let's just crack on and get it done, which leaves the person feeling as though they're not valued at all. It is the individual's opportunity to spend quality time with their manager discussing their performance, so they should get the time they deserve. So now that we understand what we mean by appraisals, let's have a look at why we actually do them in the first place. So what is the point? So I'm going to give you a minute, and what I want you to do is have a think about what is the benefit of doing appraisals at all. Now, I know we've touched on some of these things, but I want to know, what is the benefit to you as the manager? What is the benefit to your company? And what is the benefit to the individual? So we'll do the company first. If you can just write down, what is the benefit for your organisation to actually have time out for individuals to have their appraisal? Why do they do it in the first place? Yeah, they're coming through now. So give clear guidance and expectations. Thank you, Katrina.